Hello, welcome to this topic on structures. At the end of this topic, you will be able to describe structures, explain different types of structures used in distribution lines, describe standards for structures, explain galvanization of structures, list different type tests for structures. Let's start off with the structures. Structures provide the necessary support for the poles to hold the conductors, transformers, etc. in place and stabilize the lines. They provide the necessary provisions for the fixing of various items such as insulators, switches, etc. The main types of structures used in distribution lines are as follows: V cross arm, D iron clamp, DTR structures, double pole structures, four pole structures. In the previous topic, we have learnt what structures are. Now let's understand the function of each structure. V cross arm with top adapter. Cross arms are usually used for drawing overhead lines in horizontal configuration. D iron clamp. D-clamp is used for mounting shackle insulators where vertical configuration of line conductors is adopted. DTR structure. For mounting the transformers on poles, various types of structures are used. Double pole structure. Double pole structure is used wherever there is a necessity to provide a cut point in a long stretch. This is mainly to provide an isolation facility in the long and straight route. Four-pole structure. This arrangement is primarily used in location where there is a shift in line of 60 to 90 degrees. Let us discuss about the V-cross and top adapter. Most of the structures used in distribution systems are standardized. Rural Electrification Corporation Limited has provided standard drawing for each structure to be used. The drawing shown, V cross arm, is for 11 kV system simple suspension pole structure. Indian Standard Mild Channel ISMC 75 by 40 is used. The elevation and plan are shown. The pin center to pin center distance shown as 1070 mm is in line with the clearance required between the faces. When the top bracket is introduced and the pin is fixed to it, we will get a triangle. If we measure the clearance between the three pins, we will understand that the clearance available between the faces are approximately 535 mm. Next, let's learn about the D-clamp for shackle insulator. D-clamp for shackle insulators are generally used in 230 volts and 415 volts LT lines. These are made out of mild steel. These are fabricated and hot tip galvanized in line with the specification. Next, let's learn more about double pole structure. When two poles are installed side by side for a specific purpose, we call them as a double pole. We have already understood the locations at which double pole is required. According to the purpose for which they are installed, the center to center distance may vary. In long lines with only suspension, a double pole structure is introduced in order to have a cut point at required intervals. Wherever the angle of deviation is greater than 60 degrees and less than or equal to 90 degrees, double pole is required. Wherever isolation of the line is to be enabled, double pole is required. Wherever pole-mounted distribution transformers of rating greater than 25 kVA is to be installed, double poles are required. The ordinary cut point structure needs the belting angles, bracing angles, top channel clamps, and hardware for the above. REC drawings provide a complete bill of material for each structure. Next, let's learn about the DTR pole structure in detail. Following the earlier slide, This one shows the details of structures for double pole mounted distribution transformer. In this double pole structure, we may have to house the equipment like LADO or HG fuse, AB switch and distribution transformer. For each of the equipment placing, we need structures. These are called DTR pole structures. Next, let's learn more about the 4-pole structure. Let us consider a line that takes a 90-degree turn where it is suggested to go for a 4-pole structure. The structures which are required are the belting angles, bracing angles, top channel clamps and hardware for the above. Also, the structures required at the top for terminating the conductors from both ends, cut points, the structures required to enable providing jumpers from one end to the other ends. Let's understand the standards for structures. IS 800-2007 Code of Practice for General Construction in Steel, IS 2062 Hot Rolled Medium and High Tensile Structural Steel, IS 802 Part 2 1978 Code of Practice for Use of Structural Steel in Overhead Transmission Towers, Fabrication, Galvanizing, Inspection and Packing. Let's learn about the galvanization of structures. What is galvanization? Galvanization or galvanizing is the process of applying a protective zinc coating to steel or iron to prevent rusting. The most common method is hot dip galvanizing, in which the parts are submerged in a bath of molten hot zinc. The members fabricated with structural, the hardware shall be galvanized. The galvanization is to be carried out in line with IS 4759. The thickness of the zinc coating shall not be less than 610 grams per square meter. The thickness of the galvanizing can be measured using Elco meter. The following are the different type tests for structures: visual examination, tensile test, bend test, impact test, non-destructive test.